Welcome to Courageous Conversations. I'm your host, Rebekah Sharpe, and I am truly honored to bring you these testimonies that are woven into conversations meant to create a divine tapestry that captures beauty, grace, strength, passion, and you guessed it, courage. As you listen to how these wonderful men and women have overcome extraordinary circumstances so that they might show up each and every day in their chosen field of endeavor, my sincere hope and earnest prayer is that you too would be inspired to keep the faith, fight the good fight, and run your race. Please enjoy this episode and stay tuned because we have a remarkable lineup of speakers who will be pouring from the wonderful wells they've been given to encourage you, motivate you, and bring you into a greater awareness of the things God has put you on this earth to do. Enjoy the episode and be strong and courageous. Do not fear because the Lord our God is with you wherever you go. Thank you so much for tuning in. God bless. Hello and welcome to Courageous Conversations. I am your host, Rebekah Sharpe, and today I am absolutely amazed and so excited to be able to share with you all someone who I consider a very dear friend. Mrs. Adrianne Redwood is a wife, a daughter, a sister, a friend. She is also a flourishing entrepreneur and an event planner extraordinaire. So Adrianne, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Rebekah. It's such a pleasure. I'm truly honored.
Yes, amen, amen. So let's start off by talking about how you and I connected.
Yes, well, we connected in events, working under the leadership of Reverend Dion on the B movement. And I feel like we just had this connection. You have such an infectious, spirit. It's just like you can't help but be drawn to Rebekah. Rebekah is amazing in her own right. And so, we've worked a couple years on the B movement and just forged our sisterhood from there. And so I'm grateful to have met you. I'm grateful for Reverend Dion for creating the B event so we were able to meet and be here today.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I echo so many of those sentiments. I remember thinking when you joined the team and you just came with all of these ideas and this big vision and these connections, I was like, okay, this is next level. We need to.
I know sometimes people are like, bring it down.
No, we needed to come up. You didn't need to bring it down. We needed to come up. And, you were just such an incredible asset to the team. And you brought us, like I said, to a whole new dimension. And I was like, I got to stay close to her because this girl is connected. Like she knows some things. She's got vision. And so, yeah, it has been such a privilege really to see God working through you in this space of event planning. Like it can seem so, I guess when you attend an event, you're like, oh, this is nice. And it's just like, oh, this is nice. But working with you, I'm able to see all of the inner workings that go into making something nice. So I would love to talk about where your passion for event planning derived from and some of the different places that this gift has taken you to.
Sure. It's cliche-ish, but event planning truly is my passion. Like I love what I do. I love creating. I love finding solutions to problems. I love taking somebody's idea and creating a moment, a memory, an experience for somebody that people have to talk about for a lifetime. Like people are still talking about the B event and how inspired they were from years ago. And anytime I had the opportunity to impact somebody's life through an event, through, creating that, like I feel like there's no greater feeling than having that impact on somebody's life. Event planning, it's crazy how I started. I thought that growing up I wanted to be, somebody asked a question like, what would you be today if you were still followed your childhood dreams? I thought I wanted to be a sport agent. I don't have love sports, love football, but I don't have the temperament to be a sport agent. So I went to school for sport management. Within my curriculum, there was a class called event management. And from there, I was able to do different types of events for sport teams, halftime shows, worked with the Steelers, worked with the Pirates, worked with the women's football team, just planning their events as well. And my love for events just grew from there. I started doing events at my parents' church back home. And it kind of grew. And being a young entrepreneur, probably like 10, 11 years ago, we started an event planning company called Phoenix Premier Events. And from there, I've just kind of did events on the side, and then also my professional career as well. We're able to hold different positions in events too. So I've been doing events for years, and I just truly, honestly love creating and love doing what I do. It's taken me to some different places, have met some different people, um, and it just really opened the doors for a lot of opportunities for me to grow.
Yeah, that is so amazing. And it really just
Mhm.
highlights how God really does use everything, right? We might think
Mhm.
we're going in one direction, but He's like, I've got something for you on that journey
Exactly.
that is going to sort of shift your paradigm and bring you into a new level of your destiny. So, can you even talk about professionally, right? Because I know you've
Mhm.
held various positions and how you've been able to maintain your authenticity and stay true to yourself while you've been on this journey of discovering your passion and really working in it full time?
Sure, absolutely. I stayed grounded. I feel like one by my faith and two by my family, and just really my family has always helped me to keep me grounded and realize who I really am, and that sustains me through everything. And at the end of the day, I had to realize I'm not my job, I'm not my career, but this is who I am, and I honestly, truly, though, do believe like this is what I was meant to do. So even by doing events in church, I feel like I'm still doing the work of God. And even by doing events, I still feel like I'm doing the work of God by helping people. Um, so I've held positions. My first event position was at the August Wilson Center for African American Culture. And that place will always be near and dear to my heart. I remember being an intern for the Multicultural Arts Initiative at the time, and the August Wilson Center was just a thought. And my dream job was to be an event planner at the August Wilson Center. And that's a true testament how you can manifest something and things happen and you can speak things into existence, because I'm like, that is my dream job. That's my ultimate goal, is to be this event planner at the August Wilson Center. And so I was there for a couple of years, and then I held a position at the convention center. And that just kind of, I guess taught me endurance, right? The convention center was a whole completely different beast, a different type of events. We were planning multi-day international conferences, and it was grueling at times. And so I feel like through there, I learned endurance. I learned, the true meaning of hard work, working long hours, long days, days back to back.
Mm.
And then it kind of wasn't serving, I guess, my passion working at the convention center. And, my prayer was always, God, like, I want to love going to work every day. Right. And so during that time is when my side business was kind of on a hiatus because I was just working so hard at the convention center. But I was like, I need to do something that's fulfilling and do something that I love. So I picked Phoenix back up and started doing events on the side again. That brought me joy, that I really found meaning in. And so during that time, I got a call from the University of Pittsburgh, and they said, what do you think about coming to work here? And the backstory is that I had applied for the same job they were calling me for, and I didn't make it to the second interview. And so I'm like, I'm not gonna like apply for this again. You didn't like me the first time. And so I was just like, what do I have to lose? Like, let's just go for it. And so I was unsure if that was the right move for me at the time. And during the time I was in sales at the convention center. So I had moved to a different position. I was kind of settled. It was okay. The salary was decent. And so I'm like, God, should I go to the University of Pittsburgh? Is this for me? And in all decisions where I'm unsure, my first thing is to go to God in prayer. And I need a sign, let me know if this is the way I should be going. And sure enough, my supervisor that was going to be my supervisor at the university called me and said, we want to come to the University of Pittsburgh. What do we have to do to get you here? And
What?
I'm like, yes, like
Wow.
who does that? And so I'm like, you
Wow.
to call me and ask me what you have to do to get me here is a sign. Thank you, God. And so that's
Wow.
and I mean, it was clear as day. And that's how I ended up at the University of Pittsburgh. And so there, I'm able to touch all different types of people and plan all different types of events, from students to different departments, international events. Like it's a whole array, weddings, like all different types of events, while still, doing Phoenix at the same time. So I'm truly grateful for the position that I'm in at this time. Yeah.
Yeah, that is absolutely extraordinary. And one thing that you talked about a lot throughout your response was your relationship with God. You talked about
Mhm.
faith and prayer and manifesting. Can you share just how important your relationship and your faith journey has been as you have navigated the ebbs and flows of your life's journey?
Absolutely. I cannot imagine my life without it, right? And so I just feel like my faith, and it really has grown, especially during this time. You know, this pandemic, I feel like I pray that everybody has been able to take that time and and really reflect. But my faith, especially during this pandemic, has like God has just proven himself time and time and time again. How can you not have faith, right? How can you not believe? And so it really is the essence of who I am, because without God, without faith, without my belief, like I honestly could not make it. I just could not. I mean, that is my foundation, and that's where I start and that's where I end every day. Um, it's kind of unbelievable, honestly, just how God has shown up in my life in different areas. And even when, you don't feel worthy enough to even ask, right? He's there and he shows up. And so it 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 is, I've grown up in the church, I've grown up in faith, I've grown up being a believer, and that has been constant through my childhood all the way to my adult years. And it really has sustained me.
Yeah, that's so very encouraging to hear. And I just love how practical, it is. Like it really is like the substance of my life is the essence of who I am.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and a lot of us grow up in church and we're raised that way, but when you really get a chance to taste and see God for yourself,
Experience it for yourself. Yes, nobody can tell you and nobody can show you better than God can.
and the
Absolutely.
fact that you've been open to allow him to show you
Mm,
and allow him to stretch you even in this current season, but it helps to develop your faith, right? And to strengthen your
mhm,
belief in him. And I want to
absolutely.
talk about this season in particular because obviously we are in the middle of a global pandemic. And so
Mhm,
events look a lot different right now.
so different.
And they have for the past year and probably will forever, right? Like the
Mhm,
whole landscape has shifted moving forward.
yeah.
You have been able to make lemons or lemonade with lemons that the pandemic has brought. And so I want to talk about your latest feature because that is just
Oh,
so phenomenal. And I want you to share
thank
about
you.
how it's really for this feature, you were talking about how to plan events in the midst of a pandemic. So share
Yes.
about the future, but also give us some practical tips for those who are watching about how to make the most of this new landscape that we're living in.
Sure, absolutely. And so thank you for bringing that up. But we had the pleasure and the honor of being featured in Luna Lucci, which is probably the largest multicultural publication for weddings and events. Yeah, absolutely. And so the whole thought behind this shoot was, we're in this pandemic, it's craziness. But I'm still going to live my life like it's golden. Shout out to Jill Scott. Um, so that was the whole thought behind it, is just living life, and embracing all the light that it has regardless of our circumstances. And so, but even in planning this, shoot, still faced with, the fears that come along with it, the obstacles that come along with it, to the point where I was like, I don't want to do this, I'm about to quit. My mom was supposed to be there, then she couldn't. All of a sudden vendors were dropping out, we couldn't find a venue, and just everything that could come together just to kind of discourage you was happening. And there's so many times in my life that fear has stopped me, and I have let fear set in, and I'm just like, I don't have the energy to deal with it, and it's just easier for me to do it. And so fear has honestly stunted my growth for a very, very long time. And I was about to let it happen again. And I'm grateful for my tribe that is around me that pushed me and said, no, Adrianne, you need to move forward. You need to make this happen. And so we did. And the shoot turned out beautifully, and it turned out better than I could even imagine. And so, the whole goal of doing a styled shoot is to submit it to different publications for it to, hopefully be featured. And so after the shoot was done, I went on a whole spree and submitted it to multiple. only to get denied. And so here I am again, fearful, the vendors are going to feel like I wasted their time, where, we were getting responses back like it's not a good fit, you didn't use professional models. And so I just was discouraged all over again. Like, why did I do this? Why did I waste time? Why did I waste this money? Only for Mona Lucci to come back and say, we're honored to have you featured as well. And I'm just like, me, little old Phoenix, like really? And so I couldn't, it's probably one of my proudest moments in
Wow.
my career. And I'm grateful, like I said, to my tribe, for my praying sisters that, that have encouraged me to do it afraid, to step out of my comfort zone, and, because I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired of wishing that were me, wishing that I was in that position. And it's just like, why not? Why not? And so do it afraid. And so here we are. And that was the outcome. And so for events, in general, I feel like that is just kind of where we're at now, is just doing it afraid, and having the courage and having the time and having, I guess, reimagining, right? We've had to reimagine our whole entire lives, but reimagine what events look like. How can you keep people engaged? I know virtual is really, really hard and really, really tough right now, but we have to, and it's given me the time to sit back and see, how can we continue to connect with one another? And I think that's the most important part, is just how do we still connect? How do we still get the message across? It's hard and it's difficult. I'm not going to say that it's easy, but this unfortunately is where we are right now, and it's still important for, everybody to connect and everybody to be together, even if it is virtually. So
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is this is our new normal.
I know it's our new normal, but I love how people like yourselves have been able to pivot in the middle of
Mhm.
all the pandemic, right? And still
Yes,
show other individuals how we can still celebrate life and enjoy these really special moments. It might look different and feel a little different, but there is a way in the wilderness,
absolutely.
our
Yes.
in the desert, right, for us to still be able
Hmm.
to come together and make memorable moments, and
Absolutely.
lasting memories, which I know is something that you feel very passionate about. And as you
Hmm.
gave your example earlier, just about how you sort of looked fear in the face and overcome it, and then the incredible result that that brought forth with this feature, something that really resonated with me that I'd like to highlight is the power of a tribe. And you talked
Mm,
about people around you that were encouraging you. You talked about people that were praying for you and just helping you to like remember who you really are and not let
yeah,
you give up, especially so close to the finish line. So can you talk
absolutely.
about, yeah, can you talk about just how essential it has been to keep the right people around you and why having a praying tribe is so important?
Yes. And I think the key that you said too is the people that you have around you, right? And I've been very strategic about the people that are around me and in the different places of my life, right? And so I also, I mean, I'm grateful for the pandemic. I know it's been hard for a lot of people. It's even been hard for me, but the pandemic has honestly given me time to sit back and reflect at different areas in my life and figure out things that are serving me and things that aren't, and what I need in my life in order for me to be successful, in order for me to be the person that I want to be. I had to be very strategic about the people that are around me. So not only do I have my therapist, not only do I have my family foundation, first God, and then I also had a business coach that was around me. And then I also had a friend that was in the industry that I was able to bounce these ideas off of, and then my family as well. And so there were some relationships that I had to let go of, because it's just like, you, not that I love you any less, but right now in this season, that's not what I need, right? And so I just created kind of like I said, this tribe around me that's able to help me in all these different areas of my life and encourage me and help me to see myself the way they see me. Even to this day, people, my husband's like, "You're beautiful." And I'm like, "Thanks, but you're just supposed to say that because you're my husband." But to honestly really start to believe that
Yeah.
and feel that, and it changes your world, it changes your view. And so I had to, my mom and my sister are probably um my main cheerleaders that I keep around me, because regardless, they are there encouraging me every step of the way. And without them, without that tribe, without those people, without those prayers, I honestly could not be who I am and be able to do what it is that I do. Because you get discouraged, right? You get knocked down. And it is hard for you to see yourself the way people view you. And you need sometimes just that reminder of who you really are, and what you're capable of doing.
Absolutely. The power of a tribe. It's invaluable.
Hmm.
We are not meant
It
to,
is
yeah, we're not meant to do this life alone. And I think it's just so
at all.
beautiful to be able to reflect on just the incredible blessings that come along with inviting the right people. I love that you mentioned you are
Yeah.
strategic because it's not meant for everybody. You have to be
No.
careful and wise.
And then,
Go ahead.
yeah. And then I just feel like as you're on your journey, right? Everybody can't go with you. Everybody's
Woo!
not meant to go with you, right?
Yes.
Sorry, but I
Yeah.
mean, there are people I believe are in your life for a season, a place, and a time,
Yeah.
and every time is not the right time. So,
Amen.
absolutely.
I completely concur. I want to pivot a little bit because you mentioned I introduced you as Mrs. Redwood, and you mentioned your husband and the beautiful and glowing compliments that he gives to you. But
Mm,
I want to talk about how you guys got married a couple of weeks before in Jamaica, by the way, and it was something that you all planned and executed so marvelously.
mhm.
But
Oh,
just a
thank
few
you.
weeks, you're welcome. Just a few weeks before we were all sheltered in place, and you spent your first year as newlyweds in this quarantine environment. Can you talk about some of the lessons that you have learned and what might be able to encourage and inspire others as they're navigating, various unique circumstances within their marriage dynamics?
Absolutely. Yeah, like you said, we got married March 6th. We're about to celebrate a year, and the entire year has been quarantined during this pandemic. And, I remember coming back, or I remember leaving, and my sister's mother-in-law were giving us masks, and they're like, "Oh, wear this." And I'm like, "We don't need this. This is not necessary. Like, what is happening?" And so we literally came back in a week after we were sent home. Um, I really attribute our success to being friends. I know that's kind of cliche-ish too, and but we are first and foremost, we're really truly friends. I enjoy being around him. We have a good time together. We were also strategic about spending time together and then spending time apart,
Okay.
right? So this is our time and this is your time and this is me time. And so I think we respected that space as well and just were very intentional about and communicating, right? So there's times that, maybe we were frustrated, but we talked about that. We talked it out and explained why we're feeling this way or what is it that we need in this moment. And I do feel like piece of it is because I work from home and he still has to go in.
Okay.
So we're not stuck together like 24/7. But we very much so enjoy spending time together, but also recognize when we need to be apart, we take that time as well and we respect each other's space. And so we've made it. I don't think we had an argument through this whole pandemic, which I'm grateful to God for.
Amen. Amen.
Absolutely. And we just found ways, we had to reimagine that too. We thought we were going to be newlyweds out on the town, having date night, having a good time, date nights in the house. And so we just had to figure out, what that looks like and just, really, I think it made us really kind of, dig deeper into our relationship and really get to learn each other
Yeah.
more than, what we thought. We thought we knew each other, but now we really know each other.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. I love just the common thread of reimagining things, right?
Mm,
Because sometimes we can get so like tethered to what we think
mhm.
something is supposed to be, what it should
Right.
look like, how it's going to make us feel. But this last
Mhm.
year has taught us like we don't have that much control over life, quite frankly.
You
So
don't. You have to be flexible. You have to be flexible and fluid and be able to just move with it.
yeah,
Yeah, it was nothing like we imagined, but it still turned out good.
exactly. Well, it turned out wonderful, and the fact that I
Absolutely.
know a lot of people say the first year of marriage can be the most difficult, right? But the fact that you all
Right.
had all these like external challenges, but internally, like you've been fortified, no arguments,
We
and
were solid.
yeah, that's gonna your foundation now is literally unshakable, right? And setting you up for
Absolutely.
success. I love that. I love that. So, can you, and you've shared this a little bit, but I do want to know what really inspires you about the work that you're doing now, and especially within being an entrepreneur and now working with the business
Mhm.
coach. Like, when you think about your vision for the next couple of years, what inspires you to keep moving ahead and forging this uncharted territory?
I feel like just the creativity of it all, and then also being able to give people an experience, and to create that experience for somebody. I feel like I'm such a giver.
Yes.
I'm a natural giver. Like it truly makes me happy to give, to help people. My mom used to be so upset because she felt people were taking advantage of me. And, God just said to her, you can't change her heart, just teach her how to manage it. Right.
That's wisdom.
So, and so just being able to give people an experience, especially now, coming out of this, people are going to be ready to, have some fun, have some enjoyment, experience all those things that they have been missing. I mean, I think we really took for granted the being the in we took for granted being able to engage with people and be around people, right? We were just, able to call somebody. I'm like, hey, let's go hang out. Hey, let's do this, or let's plan this party. Let's do that. But now I feel like it will definitely have more meaning, and people will definitely embrace it more. I mean, now people are just like, had we known, Adrian, at your wedding that was going to be our last vacation, we might have approached it a little differently. We
Yeah.
might have appreciated it a little more. And I feel like there's just going to be so much more of an appreciation for being able to be outside. I'm excited to be a part of that for somebody, right? I'm
Yeah.
able, that baby shower, to celebrate that first birthday, to celebrate that retirement, to celebrate that wedding, even to be able to create those lasting memories and impact somebody's life for years to come. I honestly find joy in. People be like, oh, that sounds, planning, it can be daunting for some people. But
Very
I love
magical.
I love, I do. I love working with people. I love planning events. I love the creativity, taking an idea and just making it blossom into this kind of world that we all get to experience. I find complete joy in
And
every day. I would do it every day if I could, the rest of my life.
right, right. And I see the way that it makes you light up as you talk about it. And that's how you know you have found the thing that you've been placed on this earth to do. And I don't
Mm,
know if you mentioned it before or not, but it is ministry, because you are doing it
mm,
as unto the Lord. And like you said, you are creating these environments that are impacting not only the people who are being celebrated, but all who are in
right.
attendance as well. And that is just such a special and really honorable way to make a difference in the lives of individuals. So just thank you for being
Mm,
such an awesome
of
vessel.
course.
Okay, so I have to ask you, because you are this event planner extraordinaire, what are the top 5 things that are important for any event? Like, what are the must-haves for a successful one?
You must have one. I feel like as a client, I need just an idea of what it is that you want. I'm here to guide you and lead you in, the way that we should go, but
Hello.
I need an idea. I need an idea, just a kind of an inkling, start me off right, of an idea that you want. So that's the starting point. Amazing food is probably the next best thing. The most important thing to me. The food and the beverages could throw off an event completely. Um, let's see, this is hard because I feel like every detail of an event is really
And
important,
you
but
delight in
I'm going,
details,
I'm
definitely.
going to try to find five for you.
Yes, we're at it
Um,
too.
so the theme though too, right? So it kind of goes with the first one, but I think the theme is important and how we pull it all together. And then every little detail of that theme kind of creates the experience. So it's not just something as simple as, you know, let love grow, right? Which was the theme of my bridal shower, for example. But what is the experience in that? So let love grow. It was all about floral designs and pinks, and but then there was an activity where you could create your own kind of floral design, and you could take that with you and hopefully watch love grow and bloom at your house as well. So it's just like, what's the interactive piece of it, and what is the memorable piece that people can take home with them? So
Yeah.
I would say the interactive piece of it as well and how you engage your guests. Um, entertainment is
Mhm.
important as well too. So some people are like, you have to find the right entertainment for, your event. It could be a DJ, it could be a band, it could be just a jazz band, and then the right venue too for your events. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, I could just have this at a fire hall. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. But it's just like, does your event fit into that venue? Is there, should it be outdoors? Should it be um let's go destination, right? Like what is so basically this is all over the place, but starting with the person and their idea, creating that theme, and then creating and organizing all the right pieces that fit to create that experience, I would say.
Amen. And
I
this
don't know if that was five or how many that was, but
It was good. I feel like it gave us a nice continuum though, and it also showed me personally why you stick to the experts and you hire people like yourselves to actually execute all of this because it's a lot for just the average Joe or Jane to think of on your own. But when you really get a chance to partner with somebody who does this right and who is passionate
Mhm.
about it and who is gifted and skilled in this arena, that is how you get these absolutely mesmerizing events. So thank you for giving us those five.
There's a
But
lot of details to go into it. Yeah.
oh
Everyone's important. I feel like everyone's just as important as the next.
yeah, no, absolutely. Especially when you really are looking to have that memorable and impactful event. And you mentioned baby showers, retirement parties, weddings, bridal showers, ministry
Like
events, like
everything's a celebration. What do we
everything.
want to celebrate?
And I
Let's
think
just celebrate today.
yes, we are celebrating today. And I think that 2020 has definitely taught me the importance of celebrating every single day because
Mhm.
life is so short. Things can change in the blink of an eye. So it is important when we have, like you all did for your wedding, you were able
Mhm.
to live it up. You didn't know it
Yes.
was going to be your last vacation, but at least you all have so many beautiful memories to cherish and reflect on. Yeah. But we are looking forward to hitting the friendly skies again outside,
Yes.
up
I know you are. I know you can't
attending,
wait.
right, and attending glorious events. So you've talked about this throughout the interview, but what do you feel like you want your legacy to be?
Legacy to be one of, Adrian was always there, right? And I feel like I can be, if I can light somebody else's light to continue to carry the path,
Mm,
continue the way, if I can help somebody learn from my mistakes, my failures, that's all I can ask for. There's this quote by Brene Brown. Um, let me pull it because I want to make sure I get it correct.
we love
Um,
that.
yes, but may my story be someone else's survival.
Mm,
And so I just want to share and help in any way I can. I mean, I feel like that's a lot of my problems too. Like when people ask of me, there's very few times I ever say no.
mm.
But I do. I truly am fulfilled when I'm able to help somebody. And if I can help somebody else grow and help somebody else succeed and encourage somebody else the way they have encouraged me, if I can be a tribe to somebody else the way my tribe has been to me, that would be
Wow.
phenomenal.
Yes, well, you are absolutely a phenomenal woman. And I can say that I am a living witness to the fact that you are already living out that legacy by encouraging others, inspiring others, blazing a trail, but not just blazing that trail for yourself, but really inviting other people to come alongside of you and even behind you to go even further and faster than you have gone. So thank you truly for allowing your light to shine so brilliantly in this world. I'm so proud of you and excited for all of the great things that are to come. And before we go, I do just want you to be able to plug your business one more time for those who might be watching or listening and looking for an event planner because everything's a celebration. So we all should.
Everything's a celebration. That might be my new tagline. Everything's a celebration. But thank you for the opportunity, Rebecca. And I truly believe like when we win, when one wins, we all win. So thank you again for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to speak on behalf of Phoenix. Yes, Phoenix Premier Events is the event planning company We plan all types of events. No event is too small, too large, from baby showers to conferences, now virtual conferences. We're in this digital world. And so we would love to have to be a part of your day. We would love to help you plan those memorable experiences. And we would be honored to impact your life in that way. So again, if anybody needs an event planner, we are here to serve you.
And
Thank
what's
you,
your,
Rebecca.
absolutely, your website or Instagram where we can.
It yeah, absolutely. It's Phoenix, Phoenix Premier Events, PGH, and then the website is www.phoenixevents.com.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Adrianne. This has been a joy. And I really appreciate sharing this time with you. And again, I'm excited for all that's to come in the future.
Thank you, Rebecca. I appreciate you.
Yes.
Love you.
Love you too, sister. All right. Thank you so much for joining Courageous Conversations today. And we will see you next time. God bless.